There are compliments, and then there are triggers. Most men give compliments to get attention, but the rare few, they give compliments that cause emotional impact, not because of what they say, but how and when they say it. Today we go deeper. This isn't about flattery. This is about leverage. These are compliments that bypass her ears and go straight to her subconscious. Compliments that don't seek approval, but instead build presence. The kind that stay in her mind long after you leave. Ready? Let's begin. The first forbidden compliment is simple, almost too subtle. That's why it works. You say it when she least expects it, when she's not seeking attention, when she's off guard. You look at her and say, "There's something about the way you carry yourself." That line isn't about her looks. It's about her essence. It shifts the focus from surface to depth. And here's the twist. You say it once, then change the subject. Leave her wondering. The silence afterward does more than the words themselves. It invites her to chase the meaning. And in that chase, she chases you. Most men speak to fill space, but when your words are rare and deliberate, they carry weight. The second forbidden compliment only works if you say it without a smile, without flinching. You look her in the eye and say, "You see things differently." Not cute, not sweet, just real. It's not about agreeing with her. It's about recognizing depth, individuality. That compliment tells her she's not ordinary. And when a man sees her as unique, she feels seen. Not for what she shows the world, but for what she hides. That's the part of her that melts. If you're drawn to this kind of raw, unfiltered truth, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. We don't chase, we evolve. Now here's the secret. These compliments aren't about making her feel good. They're about making her feel seen. Most men comment on the obvious. You speak to what's beneath. The third forbidden compliment isn't flashy. It's whispered, quiet, intentional. You say, "You have a calming energy." That stops her. Because she's used to being praised for her looks, her body, maybe her ambition. But energy? That's a deeper layer. And suddenly, you're not just a man who noticed her. You're a man who noticed what most overlook. That creates emotional tension. Quiet power. The reason these compliments work isn't because they're clever. It's because they're rare. They feel earned. They come from a place of stillness, not need. And that's what sets you apart. A compliment from a man who needs nothing is unforgettable. But timing matters. You never give these when she's asking for validation. You wait until she's relaxed, in her element, speaking freely. That's when the words slide under the armor. That's when she starts to associate your presence with feeling understood. And understanding is more seductive than admiration. Here's what most men never realize. It's not the compliment, it's the contrast. When you're the man who doesn't hand out approval carelessly, every word from you feels earned. So when you speak into her identity, not her image, she listens differently. She leans in, she remembers. That's why you never overdo it. No repetition, no emphasis, just calm delivery, followed by distance. And the space between your words? That's where the attraction builds. Because now, she's not thinking about what you said. She's replaying how you said it. And why? A compliment becomes powerful when it's not seeking a reaction, when it's not followed by a smirk or a glance, but delivered like truth. Unbothered. Complete. That's what makes her melt. She's used to compliments with an agenda. But when yours have no strings, when they arrive without expectation, they disrupt her pattern. Suddenly, she's not analyzing your words. She's feeling them. And that shift, from thought to emotion, is where the connection deepens. It's where attraction grows without trying. Quiet, slow, irresistible. Here's something she'll never admit. Women are drawn to mystery, not confusion, not games, but mystery rooted in certainty. When you drop a compliment like, "There's an edge to you I didn't expect," and leave it hanging, she starts questioning what you saw. What did you mean? What edge? That curiosity becomes a thread she pulls on in her mind. And every time she thinks about it, she's thinking about you. You're no longer just a man she met. You're a mirror she's still trying to read. That's the real power of a forbidden compliment. But don't confuse rare with random. These compliments work because they're precise. You speak to something real she didn't know you noticed. That's why you watch more than you talk. You observe the way she pauses before speaking, the way she checks her reflection when no one's looking, the way she softens when she talks about her past. And when you finally say, "You have a strength that's quiet but undeniable," it doesn't feel like a line. It feels like truth. And truth, when it's unexpected, is magnetic. The danger of these compliments is simple. They linger. They don't hit her like a dopamine spike. They settle like a seed, quiet at first. But as the hours pass, the day ends, and silence sets in, she replays them. And the more she replays your words, the deeper your impression grows. That's how influence is built. Not with volume, with precision. You don't flood her with praise. You give her one sentence that echoes. That's the kind of man she tells her friends about without knowing why. Because she felt something she couldn't explain. What makes these compliments forbidden isn't that they're inappropriate. It's that they're powerful in a way most men never access. They're not about desire. They're about recognition. You're not saying, "I want you." You're saying, "I see you." That changes everything. Because now you're not competing with other men. You've stepped into a different category entirely. You've become the one who triggers reflection, not just attraction. And that's a category she won't forget, because it's not crowded. But here's the key. You don't explain your compliments. You don't expand, justify, or soften them. You drop the line and let the silence carry the weight. That silence is where her imagination activates. It's where she starts wondering if you see more than you say. And that mystery? That's the hook. Because now, she's not just thinking about what you said. She's thinking about what you haven't said yet. What else does he notice? What else is he holding back? That curiosity turns into tension. And tension turns into pull. Most compliments inflate. Yours should deepen. They should pull her inward, not lift her up. When you say something like, "There's a sadness in your strength that's beautiful," it's not just unexpected. It's disarming. Because now you're touching parts of her she rarely shows. Parts she might not even fully understand. And in that moment, she feels both exposed and seen. That duality creates a vulnerability she doesn't want to run from. She wants to explore it, with you. Not because you gave her validation, but because you gave her depth. That's why your tone matters more than your words. No smile, no smirk, just calm delivery, like you're stating a fact, not fishing for praise. That's what separates a powerful compliment from a needy one. And the final piece? You never repeat them. You never remind her of what you said. Because repetition turns depth into noise. You let it linger, unanswered. Let her carry it. Let her wonder if you even meant it. That uncertainty isn't weakness. It's leverage. It means your words still live in her mind, without effort. So here's the truth. Compliments are easy. Impact is rare. And when a man masters the art of subtle recognition, when he speaks to the layers no one else sees, he doesn't just become memorable. He becomes irresistible. Because women don't melt for words. They melt for meaning. And meaning only comes from presence. So speak less. Watch more. And when you do speak, make it count. Because the man who knows when and how to compliment doesn't need to compete. He commands, quietly, permanently.